Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am starting what is hopefully going to be a new series here on my channel. I'm going to be taking videos of YouTube beauty gurus and trying to recreate the looks that they've created in tutorials. Today, my very first one is going to be a recreation of Jaclyn Hill's Halo Smoky Eye with Glitter Liner. And she posted this on September 30th. I will have her video linked down below, but I will also be putting clips of her video into my video to show you the step-by-step process that she's going through that I will be repeating. Of course, I don't have all the same products that she does, so I'm just using the products that I have on hand, mixing, matching, creating something to get as similar as a look as possible to what she did. I think it turned out pretty good. I think this is a pretty close recreation of her look. If you want me to keep making videos like this and you want to make suggestions, feel free to put a comment down below saying which tutorials you want me to mimic next. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this type of video. So let's get started. In this video, Jaclyn Hill starts with her eyeshadow. It doesn't show that she uses an eye primer of any kind, but I'm going to just because my eyelids are quite veiny and hers aren't really so much. So I'm going to use my MAC paint pot in Painterly as usual. So she starts with Makeup Geek Bake Sale. I'm going to be using Studio Makeup On The Go palette with this medium brown color. And she sticks that all over the crease. And then she goes in with Makeup Geek Creme Brulee, which is actually a lighter shade than the one she just used. So I'm going to use the lightest shade in this palette. So she takes that right on top of what she just did and brings it up a little bit more as well. Blends it out. Now she uses the Masquerade palette by Juvia's Place and uses slightly darker brown. And I'm going to use, no, I think I'm actually going to go in with this darkest brown in this palette. So with this darker brown shadow, I'm going to put it on the outer corner and the inner corner because this is a halo eye look. I feel like hers has a little bit more of a reddish color to it, but I don't have a color like that. Again, I'm just using the colors that I have and kind of getting as close to what she does as I can. Then she goes into another Juvia's Place palette, Nubian 2, and grabs a really warm brown. I don't have anything like that warm reddish brown color, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one that I've been using, but I'm going to mix it with a color from my Morphe 35S palette. And I'm going to take this, it's almost a purple color. It's like a dark purplish brown, but I figure mixing that with the brown I have should give it more of that red warm tone look. And that's just going to go right over what we've already done and just deepen that color up. So that eyeshadow that she just grabbed didn't end up working for her, so then she went to the Anastasia Beverly Hills Fudge shadow instead, which I actually feel like this is a pretty close color from what I see. So that just goes over the brown that we just did, just deepens the color a bit. Once all those browns are in place, she goes in with a clean brush and just goes over everything to make sure everything's blended, no harsh lines, which is her motto. Then she goes in with a Natasha Denona palette and she uses a really gorgeous silver color. I went to London Drugs this morning to see if they had a similar shade. I went to the NYX aisle and they actually had the perfect lighter silver color, but they were totally sold out of it. So I went with this a little bit darker silver color. It still is very shimmery, sparkly, just like the color that she's using. She uses some MAC Fix Plus to apply this, so I'm just going to use my Maybelline Master Fix because that's the only setting spray I have right now. So I'm just going to spray my brush with that a little bit. And then to start off, she just goes in kind of just in the center and then tries to blend it out, but that wasn't working for her, so she goes all over the lid and then blends it out with the browns. So I'm just going to go straight into doing this all over my lid. And then I'm going to blend it out after with the browns. Man, this is a pretty color. Definitely a little bit darker than I was looking for, but I think it'll still give the same kind of effect. So once that's on the lid, she goes in back with the Anastasia Fudge. So I'm going to go in with my mixture of those two colors again and just blend out the edges of that silver to get that really nice halo effect. I'm actually still not impressed with the shade of this. I think it needs to be a little bit lighter. So I'm going to go in with the Revlon metallic eyeshadow in Oyster and see if I can get this to lighten up just a touch. Going in with that same brush that I was using with, oh, I didn't even say what color this was. Smoke and Mirrors. The NYX shadow I was using was Smoke and Mirrors. So I'm going in with that same shadow brush and just lightening it up a little bit with the Revlon Oyster shadow. That already looks a little bit better. So if you're ever trying to do a look that you've seen someone else do, just keep mixing and matching until you get the look that you're wanting, because I'm sure you'll have something somewhat similar in your makeup, but just mix things until they work for you. This is all about adapting. That's kind of the whole point of this series, is that you can do a lot of these makeup looks without the makeup that these people are using. So next she goes in with a black wing. I'm going to use my NYC eyeliner and just make a nice little wing, hopefully. We'll see how it goes today. I want to keep that black wing on the thinner side today just because we are doing a glitter liner above this one. Not too bad. You guys, I am slowly getting better at my liquid liner. So all you need to do is practice, 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 and you will get there. Once the black liner is on, we're going to go in with that silver glitter liner. Now, Jaclyn Hill uses actual glitter and glitter glue. I found this little sucker. What is it? Fantasy Makers by Wet n Wild glitter eyeliner. I picked this up for about $2 the other day. I bought it because I thought it'd be cool to do a glitter liner above a black eyeliner. And then the next day, Jaclyn Hill came out with this video. I'm like, perfect! I already have a glitter eyeliner for this. So I'm just going to go in with this. It's not quite as intense of a shimmer as what she puts on, but it does the job. So okay, I'm not going to talk during this. You're just going to follow that black line with the glitter liner. And to try to get that glitter a little more intense, I just keep going back into the bottle, picking up more glitter, and putting it in the spots where I think need some more. Oh, I think this is just the prettiest eye look. It's actually a lot more dramatic than what I usually do, but it's fun getting out of my comfort zone a little bit. Seeing if I can accomplish what these bigger YouTubers are doing. Now I'm going to do some mascara before applying lashes. She uses the Blinking Beauty Samantha lashes. I'm going to be using my Love for Lashes in the style Nefertiti. Sure. This is about the closest style I could find that I had on hand. I'm just going to quickly coat my lashes with mascara first using the L'Oreal Voluminous. I find all the Love for Lashes to be fairly long, so I do have to trim them a little bit. I'm just going to cut a smidgen. When you're cutting your eyelashes, you always want to cut on the outer edge. When you cut from the inner corner, it can make it look funny because then you're taking some of that. Usually they taper in the inner corner, and then you're taking some of that out, and that can make it look funny up against your real lashes if the inner corner is really long. Tiny little piece off the end there. Trying to cut between lashes, so I'm not actually cutting the lashes themselves. If you put on a pair of lashes and they feel like they're too big on your face, definitely take them off and resize them, because the longer you wear them, the more uncomfortable they're going to be, and you're just not going to enjoy them. These are gorgeous lashes once you cut them down. So she goes in with the Elsie Pearl Radiance Primer. I'm going to use the Becca Backlight Priming Filter just to give myself that little of a dewy glow. Do that all over. Next for foundation, she uses the Hourglass stick foundation that they just came out with. I'm going to be wanting to use a full coverage foundation as well, so I'm going to go in with my Kat Von D Lock-It foundation. I'm going to be using the Morphe E31 to apply that. I'm just going to squirt it right onto the brush. I actually don't think I've applied this with a brush before. I usually use my beauty blender, but it goes on really nice with the brush. She goes in with the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, which everyone in the States is raving about, and I have not yet seen it here in Canada, and I really want to try it, but I have not been able to get my hands on it. So I'm going to use my Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in number 15 Fair. And she just does under the eyes. I just did a little bit over my blemishes as well, but she doesn't use it to highlight down her nose or chin or anything like that, so I'm just going to blend that out with a beauty blender. Being careful around that wing. Next, she sets her entire face using a damp beauty blender and the RCMA translucent powder. I'm going to use my NYC Smooth Skin translucent powder. So once the under eyes are set, I'm just taking that everywhere else on the face. I'm actually going to turn my beauty blender around and use the bigger side. This is a great way to set your face if you're going for that really mattified look. Okay, I'm going to fill in my brows next. Now she's going into her under eye area using all of the same brown shadows that she used on the top. Let's start off with that lightest brown that I used. Run that underneath my eye. From outer corner to inner corner is what she's doing. She goes in with a black gel eyeliner. I'm just going to use my It Cosmetics No-tug waterproof liner because that's what I always use. I'm going to line this bottom waterline. Then she goes in with that dark fudge color to really set that all into place. She like gets right in there on that waterline with that color. And then she does a little bit of mascara on the bottom. I'm going to use my same Voluminous, L'Oreal Voluminous on the bottom. Next she goes into contour. She uses the Benefit Hoola Bronzer. I don't have that. I'm going to use my e.l.f. bronzer palette that I've been loving recently. She never goes under the jaw with her contour, but I do because I have a double chin, so I'm going to contour it. And then she goes in with her powder again and a damp beauty blender and carves out underneath the contour. She likes to wipe it off right away. I like to let this one sit for a minute because I find with this powder you don't get much of an effect if you wipe it off right away. I'm just going to let it sit for a second. She uses a blush from the Morphe 9N palette. It's really a rosy kind of color. I don't really have anything similar to that. I think the closest thing I have is this Milani blush in Berry Amore, but it's more of a shimmery blush than she uses. But all my blushes are really very pink, where hers is more of a like mauvey berry kind of color. But I'm just going to go in with this one because it's what I have. So I'm just going to use a little bit of that on my cheeks to give it a little bit of color. For highlight, she uses her Champagne Pop, which I have in this palette here. But she mixes it with Mary Luminizer by The Balm. And it's more of a white highlight. I'm going to go in with this Wet n Wild Illuminating palette. I'm going to take kind of the pinky goldy shades in this one. I'm going to use these two here and blend that with the Champagne Pop.
her, some lame girl, she created it. I don't want to talk about her right now. And I'm going to mix it with Mary Luminizer by The Balm. I mean, come on, look at that. I'm sorry. There's no denying. There is no denying that highlight.
She puts this on the high points of her cheeks, the tip of her nose. I like to do it down the center of my nose a little bit. Cupid's bow. And then she puts it all over her chin as well. But I get very oily, so I'm not going to do that part. Really up in that glow on the cheeks because she loves that highlight. So do I. So for lips, she goes in with the ColourPop and Kathleen Lights collab in 0.0. She also grabs the Jeffree Star liquid lipstick in Posh Spice. I just grabbed the NYX Lingerie in Honeymoon. It's kind of that brownish, cool tone color that's kind of similar to what she has. Now I'm just going to wipe that big away. And she doesn't use setting spray in this video, but I'm going to. I'm going to use the Maybelline Master Fix. Set it all in place. So this is my recreation of Jaclyn Hill's Halo Smoky Eye with Glitter Liner. That's it. Thanks for watching. I hope this helped you realize that you can do any of those makeup looks that you see on YouTube as well, just adapting to what you have on hand. Bye, guys.